If I had to escape a 9 to 5 job all over again, I wouldn't waste a second thinking about it. No dabbling, no procrastinating, no spending 6 months watching YouTube videos or listening to podcasts, learning and taking no action. Instead, I'd be able to leave the 9 to 5 much, much quicker with what I know now. So in this video, I'm going to give you the shortcuts that I wish I had when I made it my mission to leave my 9 to 5 job. If you're new to the channel, my name is James Eardley, and just a few years ago, I was stuck in a corporate job. I was feeling frustrated, I was procrastinating, and I was unsure how to get out. But since then, I've built a 7-figure online business, and I've been able to escape that 9 to 5 job, and I now help others to take the leap and move into freedom, a life of more freedom. And I'm recording this now from my villa here in Thailand, and I'm traveling around Southeast Asia, and I want to help people get out of a 9 to 5 job that they feel trapped in more quickly than me. Because it took me a little while, but I want to give you the shortcuts so that you can get out of the 9 to 5 in record time. So let's start with the mistakes that really slowed me down in leaving my 9 to 5 job, because that's where the biggest lessons are, and I don't want all those mistakes to go in vain. So if you can learn from them, then those mistakes wouldn't have been in vain. So let's start with what I got wrong. Initially, I was waiting too long for the perfect business model or the perfect opportunity to come my way, and then I would start and then I would build a business. I spent months reading books, watching podcasts, watching YouTube videos, but ultimately I wasn't actually taking any action towards building an online income stream. I was learning a lot about entrepreneurship. I was learning a lot about the mindset needed, but truly what I needed to be doing was taking action. And instead I was just trying to work out what was the perfect time or the perfect business model that would make me get to freedom. And instead of just thinking about it, looking back, I was just convincing myself that I was making progress by watching a video or listening to a podcast. But ultimately, I was just consuming, and I was just filling my mind with information that I wasn't acting on. And that was all completely pointless. To an extent, it's good to get yourself in the right situations and listening to content. But if you're not acting on that content, I realized I was just wasting time. And it took me years to leave a 9 to 5 job. I was in my 9 to 5 job for 3 years, but I had thoughts very, very early on that this wasn't going to be where I wanted to be long term. But I stayed in that housing association in the UK, even though I wasn't fulfilled, because I didn't know how important it was to just starting to take action. So I'm going to break down now the exact steps that I would follow if I was put into a 9 to 5 job again with no online income to get out of that as quickly as possible. So there's 5 steps. Step 1 is to get really clear on your North Star. So your North Star is basically your vision of how you want your life to look in the future. And the reason we need to do this first is because all of your decisions following that is going to come back to what is it you want to achieve, and do you have a really clear reason why you need to achieve that? Because that's going to give you the motivation to take all of the rest of the steps that you'll need to take to build an online income stream and start building more freedom in your life. So what I did wrong in the first place was that I would just set goals for myself like, I want more money, or I want more freedom, or I want to quit my job. And it was too vague for me to really know how to take action on that. So instead, we need to be doing things like asking and answering questions clearly to the questions like, what does my dream day look like? Or what kind of work do I want to be doing? Or where do I want to live? And how much do I need to be earning to live my ideal lifestyle? And then once you've got that, that becomes your North Star to push towards. And without having a North Star, you'll just drift, just like I did, and I did that for way too long. So get your North Star sorted first. Step 2 then is to identify the right actions that will actually get you from where you are today to your North Star that you've just decided. Because we need to get really ruthless with the actions that we take. Back then, I would write down 10 things on a to-do list, and I'd be so busy working through all of them, I never prioritized what was actually going to make the difference. And the reality is, when you think about the 80-20 principle, 20% of your inputs are going to give you 80% of your results. So it's important that you work out what those 20% are so you can prioritize doing those. It's like the analogy that's often used to describe this is, if you were given 5 hours to chop down a tree, you should spend the first 4 hours sharpening your axe, because then the final hour of cutting the tree down is going to be so much more effective. And that's the same with when you need to decide how you're going to build an online business. You need to spend time up front working out what actions do I actually need to take that's really going to move the needle. And my previous approach to building an online income stream was just hitting the tree with a blunt axe, doing it over and over again, and wondering why I wasn't getting anywhere, because I was taking lots of actions, and we need to take actions initially, but we need to refine those actions to work out what's actually going to make a difference. So for me, when I started off, my first online business was an e-commerce store. And what I needed to do was just sign suppliers, add the products, and optimize the ads, which I learned through following the Dropship Unlocked training program. But what I did initially before joining that program was just so many unnecessary things like changing the logo, changing the color of the website. We need to get clear on what's actually going to get there. Okay, once you know your North Star, once you know the intentional tasks that you're going to take, we're on to step 3 now, which is to build a weekly routine that means that you'll be consistently taking the most important actions. So look at your diary, because a lot of people think they've got no time to build an online business. But I did this alongside a 9-to-5 job, alongside lots of other commitments and social life and relationships and all sorts. But I was able to find 2 hours a day to put towards my business, whether that was an hour before work, an hour after work. And then I circled off that time as non-negotiable time blocks that I'd work on those important tasks that I've identified to get me to my North Star. So think about your week, look at it, and start being really intentional with where your time is going. And I guarantee if you look at your screen time on your phone, you'll easily be able to identify hours of time that you're currently not spending in the best possible way intentionally. So think about where you can find time in your week to start taking those important actions. And it's more important to have little and often rather than doing 10 hours on the weekend and nothing through the week. So it's much better to have just an hour every single day or 2 hours a day rather than having days without going on anything to do with your online business, because momentum is such an important part of building a business. So that's the weekly routine. Have that set in stone. Step 4 now is to prioritize just taking messy action over perfect planning. It's so easy to get stuck into the idea of planning the perfect launch, but realistically, the more oriented you are towards taking action, even if it's not perfect, the more results you'll see. And the more you can fail and fail quickly, the more results you'll see more quickly as well. So just have a mindset shift. Just realize from this video today that you need to be geared towards taking action even when you don't feel ready. So you've got a weekly routine in place. You know what you're doing it for with your North Star. You know the tasks you need to take, and you know that you're going to prioritize action over planning and procrastination in that time. Step 5, to round this all up, is that you need to have consistency. And I love this quote, which says that in order to be excellent, you must first become consistent, because achieving anything great in life is going to take some time. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take you showing up even when you don't feel like it. So to wrap this all up, now you've got the perfect system in place, you need to be able to do that consistently. And the way that I found best to be consistent was to have people around me, have an environment around me that I was constantly inspired by, so that I would have people holding me accountable and I held myself accountable to live up to the environments that I was putting myself into. So I joined an online community, and that Dropship Unlocked Masterclass, it gave me a place that I could really be surrounded by other ambitious people. And it was so powerful to me. I really know that really made a huge difference to my life. So now what I've done is build my own free community for people to join, so I can create that environment for you as well. So if you want to wrap up all this and get into an environment that's really going to help you, then feel free to join for free into my community, because then you've got accountability. You can get around people that are just a few steps ahead of you. You can get around people that are on the same journey as you. So you have encouragement when things are difficult, and you have congratulations when things are working really well for you. So that wraps up perfectly what I would do to get to the place that I am now. Because fast forward some time and implementing these steps, I've now helped hundreds of people take the leap that took me years, and I can help them to do that much quicker because of the insights and the knowledge that I've learned through my own journey. And these people are able to achieve things faster than me, not because they're smarter, not because they have more time, but because they are able to follow focused paths that have been proven in the past, and they can stay consistent with accountability in order to achieve great things. So if you feel like you're more capable of what you're currently doing, perhaps you're in a 9-to-5 job that you feel stuck in and you want to leave that, then follow those 5 steps. Get clear on your North Star. Understand the actions that really will drive progress for you. Build a weekly routine to get those actions done. Take messy action and don't worry about planning so much. Just start. And step 5 is to surround yourself in an environment that's going to help you, hold you accountable, and so you can stay consistent taking the right actions. Because realistically, those are the actions to take. It will speed up your journey. It's a shortcut for you. Now, I'm under no illusion. Most people won't follow those actions. They won't accept that they'll ever be able to leave the 9 to 5 job. But somebody like you that's listened and watched this video all the way through to the end, I know you're part of that top 1%. You are part of the elite club. Watching a video like this and giving yourself the respect to watch all the way through to the end and understand the steps that it's going to take. I know you've got destined for incredible big things. So I want to see that happen for you. I hope to help you out through my videos or through my community as much as I possibly can. So make sure you are that person that escapes a life that they feel unfulfilled by and gets yourself to a position where you're proud of the life that you live. So hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you did. Look forward to seeing you hopefully inside the community. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video.